I am Nancy, a 39-year-old working mom. I married Kevin, my college sweetheart, at the age of 24. Our son Samuel is now 9 years old. Despite anticipating a smooth sailing marriage, our journey has proven to be anything but predictable. Kevin casually informed me about another New Year's gathering at my parents' house next year, requesting my assistance with various tasks. As I perused some cherished photos, my attention lingered on Kevin. His comment about the upcoming gathering echoed in my mind, instantly dampening my mood. While it may just be a New Year's gathering for him, it holds significant weight for me. The annual event at my in-laws is, in fact, the most disheartening occasion of the year. Since our marriage, navigating my mother-in-law's constant snide remarks and unexpected visits has been a relentless struggle. The New Year's gathering intensifies this ordeal. Though less frequent, it is an emotionally charged experience. The term intense for me translates to a harassment festival. Unlike her usual passive-aggressive comments, during one gathering, I found myself criticized for the food I prepared. Enduring her disdain, I bit back my frustration, attempting to laugh off her comments. "Is this what you feed my son every day? It looks awful," she remarked. Politely, I suggested she refrain from eating if dissatisfied. Yet, the criticism continued, culminating in embarrassment when she served the same dishes she had berated me for to our arriving relatives. I struggled through orders and critiques, tirelessly fulfilling my mother-in-law's commands while Kevin, uninvolved, ate in frustration. Mentally hosting a boxing match, I endured another year of this challenging New Year's gathering. Almost forgetting about the impending New Year's gathering, my cell phone interrupted my thoughts with the display indicating a call from my mother-in-law. Opting to feign ignorance, I promptly turned the phone face down. The persistent ringing ceased, bringing a brief sense of relief. However, my respite was short-lived as the landline promptly rang, once again revealing the unwelcome caller, mother-in-law. Answering reluctantly, I was met with a demanding greeting. "Hello, you're so slow to answer my calls." My attempts to convey busyness fell on deaf ears, leaving me with no option but to apologize. In her call, my mother-in-law announced another New Year's gathering, insisting that I arrive early to assist with preparations. While I don't mind helping, I couldn't help but question why Kevin, my husband, wasn't expected to contribute. When I raised this point, she defended him, emphasizing his daily workload and dismissing any notion of him participating in housework or childcare. Reluctantly, I headed to my in-laws' house early the next morning, harboring a sense of foreboding. As anticipated, the day unfolded with demanding tasks: cleaning, laundry, shopping, and yard work, leaving me feeling like a maid in my own in-laws' home. My father-in-law remained indifferent, akin to a ghost. Completing these tasks marked the beginning of cooking instructions. Despite mustering my remaining energy, my mother-in-law criticized my cooking, rendering my efforts seemingly unappetizing. Struggling to maintain composure, I unintentionally expressed my true feelings. Despite my attempts to cover it up, the breaking point arrived when relatives showed up, leaving me drained and virtually deprived of the chance to eat during the chaotic gathering. By the end of it all, I resembled a walking zombie, devoid of positive memories from these New Year's gatherings. The annual celebration became grueling, with only the thought of enduring it once a year offering solace. Comparing my exhausting experience to the carefree humming of Kevin, I couldn't help but sigh deeply, contemplating the unbearable nature of that one time each year. The day of the New Year's gathering finally arrives, and as the joyful greetings of Happy New Year echo, my husband and son enthusiastically welcome the guests. However, in the festivities, I find myself completely ignored. My mother-in-law directs the attention of my husband and son inside, emotionlessly handing me a note. Despite being 3 days into the new year, the note shocks me. 12 kilograms of detergent. They're having a New Year's sale, so it's cheap. A minimum of 56 cans of beer because our family loves to drink. Baffled by the audacity of the request, I watch as my mother-in-law swiftly retreats inside, leaving me to grapple with the realization that the supermarket is indeed open. Kevin, my silent plea for help, remains unanswered. He's already drunk. Resigned, I head out to fulfill the unexpected shopping list. Upon my return, struggling with heavy bags, the atmosphere inside is lively, with cheerful greetings. Samuel welcomes me with a smile, offering a moment of relief. As I prepare to sit down, my gaze falls on an impressive sushi platter adorning the table, featuring a variety of high-end options like tuna, shrimp, and salmon. The realization hits me. There's no platter for me. The room buzzes with conversation, and as I sit next to Samuel, I'm left to ponder the absence of my portion. Samuel offers to share his, but I can't accept food from a child. Mother-in-law nonchalantly acknowledges her forgetfulness and returns with a box labeled yours, a scattered sushi box from the supermarket, priced at $9 and marked down due to its proximity to the expiration date. Shocked and angered, I discover that everyone else enjoys high-end sushi while I'm served a cheap alternative. Mother-in-law and Kevin find amusement in my predicament, while relatives and father-in-law appear visibly uncomfortable, but remain silent. The heavy shopping was just the beginning. This blatant mistreatment unfolds as the main event of the annual harassment. Frustrated, I see my son Samuel looking up at me with concern, prompting my anger to erupt. Suppressing my feelings, I adopt an apologetic posture. Mother-in-law laughs triumphantly, dismissing my apology and taunting me about wanting the fancy sushi. The reality of this annual harassment becomes apparent, and I let out a sigh, realizing the severity of the situation. I exit the room, making it evident that this isn't an apology. A warm smile accompanies my announcement, marking the conclusion of the Good Wife campaign. Despite my mother-in-law's disapproving frown at my abrupt declaration, I proceed to the kitchen, grab the shopping bags and return, cheerfully declaring, "Hey everyone, drinks are here." I arrange the packs of canned beer on the table, leaving everyone in stunned silence. Undeterred, I continued with a cheerful tone, recounting the challenges of acquiring the items, emphasizing that Kevin offered no assistance upon my arrival. With a playful boast, I draw attention to the impressive feat of purchasing everything, including 25 pounds of detergent. I encourage everyone to enjoy the beer, which I proudly claim to have bought, adding that it's on me. Playfully dismissing it as just another of my mother-in-law's orders, I distribute canned beers to everyone except my son, emphasizing the warmth inside and the perfect fit of a cold beer for winter. Noticing the unusual silence in the room, I express confusion and urge everyone to make noise and enjoy. I volunteer to handle tasks like preparing snacks and doing the dishes, emphasizing that they can have fun and ignore me. Feeling breathless from my lively speech, I survey the room only to be met with the unsettling silence broken by my mother-in-law. In response to her criticism of my perceived failure to understand my duties as a wife, I defend myself, acknowledging the importance of helping but asserting that what I'm doing goes beyond mere assistance. I confront the disparity in effort, labeling myself as essentially a maid while denying my mother-in-law's claim. She justifies her actions as educating her son's wife, including the discrimination with sushi. I challenge the acceptability of discriminating against one's son's wife, prompting my mother-in-law to fall silent. Amid the silence, Kevin raises his voice, expressing sympathy for his mother's challenges in hosting the New Year's party as my wife. I shoot him a sharp glare, prompting a momentary flinch before he retaliates with a defiant gaze, highlighting the complex dynamics within the family. "It's your responsibility to apologize to Mom." I swiftly interrupt Kevin's words. "First of all, this is your home, and I've been helping because it's your family. What have you been doing? As the actual son, you're not helping at all. You don't even know that your wife is out buying heavy stuff. What's going on?" "If you had told me," I continue, "you just waltz into the house and start eating and drinking without a care in the world. And when you see your wife being discriminated against like this, you say, 'Lucky you.' What's so lucky about this? Don't mess with me." My final shout makes Kevin shrink back, appearing pathetic under my intense gaze. Now it's Mom's turn to attack. "You're so arrogant for a daughter-in-law. What do you think you're doing? We don't need a woman like you. Divorce immediately." Kevin can't argue back, and his mother continues. "A wife should just listen to her in-laws and follow her husband. Next time, marry a woman who will listen obediently." At those forceful words, my eyes light up. "Oh? So mother-in-law, you're a submissive wife who never goes against father-in-law?" I open my bag and pull out a photo I always carry with me. It makes a grand entrance, accompanied by triumphant trumpet music. "So obedient, mother-in-law, what's this?" I scatter the photos and they flutter down. Everyone's eyes widen as they see the photos. "What is this?" someone shouts. "Who is this man they're holding hands with? Hey, they're going into a hotel." The photos reveal mother-in-law with an unknown man in every shot. They're holding hands, looking cozy, and some are even too explicit for children. "What on earth are they doing in public?" I question. Of course, I made sure my son couldn't see. I thought it was strange that my mother-in-law kept coming over without any real reason. It seemed odd just to come, just to make some snide comments. I wondered what she was doing while leaving father-in-law alone. When mother-in-law started coming over frequently, causing me to take time off work, I noticed something. She would arrive at our home dressed up for no apparent reason. Suspicious. I hired a private investigator to look into her activities, and here are the results, Mom. What is this? It's not what it looks like, mother-in-law desperately tries to explain to a skeptical Kevin and relatives. However, the evidence speaks louder than words, with irrefutable proof right in front of me. Amidst disbelief, the panicked mother-in-law turns to the father-in-law, urgently seeking reassurance. "You believe me, right? This isn't what it appears to be," she implores. The father-in-law, usually unobtrusive, now glares down at the desperate mother-in-law with cold, snake-like eyes. Unlike his typical demeanor, he is genuinely angry. A peculiar sound escapes the mother-in-law's throat as she attempts to explain, "What's not what it looks like?" Brushing off the mother-in-law's hand, the father-in-law approaches the narrator with remorse. "I'm truly sorry for everything. I was under the impression that you were content to handle all this work. Even if that were true, it was wrong to let you bear it alone. I apologize." Leading by example, the relatives also hastily apologize. "Would you mind providing those incriminating photos?" the father-in-law requests. "Of course, I have the data, so I can supply as many as you need." The father-in-law nods apologetically, collects all the photos, and exits the room. The mother-in-law's pitiful voice trails off as she follows him. The remaining individuals start cleaning up without uttering a word. Packing leftover food, washing dishes, wiping tables, and tidying the room becomes a collaborative effort. The solitary work the narrator always did alone now transforms into a group endeavor, proving to be both easy and incredibly fulfilling this year. After the New Year's gathering where the narrator rebelliously asserts herself, a call from the father-in-law reveals the finalization of his divorce from the mother-in-law. Ousted from the house, she seeks support from her affair partner, only to be abandoned when alimony is demanded in the divorce. Shunned by relatives, she finds refuge with her strict brother, living a constrained life under his watchful eye. Meanwhile, the narrator is currently separated from Kevin, a husband who contributes nothing, doesn't assist, and fails to defend her. Living apart holds no reservations for her, considering she had rented the apartment before marriage and consistently paid the rent. She insists it's only natural for Kevin to leave. Despite Kevin's belief in a fresh start, the narrator deems it too late. His previous financial freedom, reliant on her earnings, has left him struggling in a cheap apartment, frequently seeking her help. Unmoved, the narrator ignores his pleas. Notably, Samuel, the narrator's child, doesn't seem to mind Kevin's absence, highlighting his lack of involvement around the house and as a father. As Samuel talks about school with a smile, the narrator finds her answer clear. She is about to embark on a new path in life alongside Samuel.